all to grade 9 English online class. Today we are going to discuss activity number 8 and 9. This is a reading activity. Before you move on to activity number 9, turn to page number 79 of your PPS book. Here they have given you some pre-reading questions. Just discuss in your groups and answer. So since you are at home, you can think about the answers by yourself and just write them down in a piece of paper using a pencil. Just think and write. What are the most essential necessities of man? Essential necessities. What are essential necessities? Atyavashya avashyatava. What are they? Just think and write. Maybe food, clothing, something like that. Just imagine. Write down the things. Why do people need shelter? What is a shelter? Nivahana කියන්නේ house. Why do people need a house to stay? Why do you think? For the protection, maybe. Because of the various weather conditions, to protect from wild animals or thieves. Now we all have a shelter, right? What are the forms of shelter used by the early man? අතීතයේ හිටපු මිනිස්සු මොන වගේ shelters මොන වගේ ගෙවල්ද තිබ්බේ? So nowadays we have apartments, luxury houses, we have lots of varieties of houses. But early man, did they live in houses like that? No, maybe they lived in caves, tree houses, on trees, or something like that. You have to think and write them in a piece of paper, and then you can read this given paragraphs, and please answer these questions by yourself, and go while you're reading you can underline all the new words and you can find the meanings as well, and then you can replay the video and follow me. I'm gonna read this very quickly and explain you the meanings of new words given here for you all to help. Read and answer the questions. Food, clothing and shelter are the three most essential necessities of man. So what are the three most essential necessities? Most important necessities, අවශ්‍යතාවන්. ගොඩක්ම important අවශ්‍යතා මොනවද? Food, clothing and shelter. Shelter කියලා කියන්නේ houses. Since the beginning of the human civilization, ජනාවාස ආරම්භ වෙන්න කාලෙදිම beings have used different types of shelters to shield themselves. So they had different types of shelters, different types of houses to shield themselves. Shield means to get the protection themselves from the weather, to protect themselves against wild animals and insects, and as a place to rest. So against wild animals, weather conditions, කාලගුණික විපර්යාස, භයානක සත්තුන්ගෙන් ඊළඟට කෘමි සත්තුන්ගෙන් සහ a place to rest. After they hunt all day, they need a place to rest, to eat and to sleep. In the prehistoric era, man made use of what we found in the natural environment for shelter. So what did they use in the prehistoric era? ප්‍රාගෛතිහාසික යුගයේදී what did they use? They used natural environment for shelter. ස්වභාවික පරිසරය තමයි ඒගොල්ලෝ shelter එකක්. එහෙම නැත්නම් ගෙදර විදිහට පාවිච්චි කරේ. Trees, for example, provided them with protection against the heat of the sun. So when it has the sun, they stayed under the trees. Shade. Shade එක use කළා හිරුගෙන් ආරක්ෂණ. The cold in the winter and the rain. So trees also protected man against animals that could not climb up trees. So most of the animals, they do not climb the trees. So they made their houses on trees, small tree houses. So they just lived on trees. Later man shifted to caves for shelter. Caves කියලා කියන්නේ shifted කියලා කියන්නේ move. එනිදා පස්සේ කාලේදී ඒගොල්ලෝ ගස්වල ඉඳලා පස්සේ caves ගල් ගුහා, which provide greater protection against extreme weather conditions. So ගහක් උඩ ඉන්නා වගේද ගල් ගුහාවක් අතුරේ ඉන්නකොට they can protect themselves from weather conditions. කාලගුණික විපර්යාස වලින් ගොඩක් ආරක්ෂා වුණා. However, they offered less protections against wild animals, but animals can enter into these caves. සත්තුන්ගෙන් ආරක්ෂා වෙන්න බැරි වුණා. Gradually කියන්නේ slowly. කෙමෙන් කියලා කියන්නේ අපි gradually man learned to build a shelter of his own to protect himself. So they thought of making their own shelter. It is believed that man believed කියලා කියන්නේ accepting something as true. ඒ කියලා කියන්නේ විශ්වාස කරා that man initially made use of bones, stones, and even parts of trees to build his shelter. So first what did they use? Bones, atakatu, stones, galvarga, and parts of trees. Later man learned to use materials like earth which was dried in the sun to form clay blocks. Earth කියලා කියන්නේ පොළවේ තිබිච්ච dried in the sun clay blocks, from clay blocks. ඒ කියලා කියන්නේ මැටි වලින් හදපු blocks. හරියට ගඩොල් වගේ මැටි වලින් හදලා තියෙන. Then කියලා කියන්නේ after that he understood that the blocks of clay became stronger when they were burnt and dried. So first they just used clay වලින් blocks හදලා ගෙවල් හැදුවා. පස්සේ ඒගොල්ලෝ දැනගත්තා after they make clay bricks එහෙම නැත්නම් clay blocks කියන්නේ clay වලින් හදපු ගඩොල් වගේ ඒවා පිලිස්සුවාට පස්සේ after they burnt and dried හොඳට පුලුස්සලා වේලුවාට පස්සේ ඒවා මොකද වෙන්නේ? Stronger, ගොඩක් ශක්තිමත්. Man has since then been using different types of materials to build houses. Materials කියලා කියන්නේ items or things to make houses, including artificially created materials. So after that, so when they found clay, ඒ කියන්නේ මැටි හොයාගන්න පටන් ගත්තට පස්සේ මිනිස්සු විවිධ දේවල් artificial එහෙම නැත්නම් අපි කියනවා not natural මිනිස්සු විසින්ම හදාගත්ත දේවල් පාවිච්චි කරා. As a result, houses have changed in shape, form and even size. So houses වල මොකද උනේ? shape එක, form එක සහ size එක කියනවා වෙනස් වෙනවා. However, as a result කියලා කියන්නේ ඒකේ ප්‍රතිඵලයක් වශයෙන්. However, despite the development in the material used for building houses, it is important to pay attention to the climate factors. So they use different types of materials, things to build houses. It is important to pay attention. අපි දැන් මොනවා හරි ගයක් හදනකොට මොකටද වැඩිපුරම සැලකිලිමත් වෙන්න ඕනේ? attention කියන අපි වැඩිපුරම සැලකිලිමත් වෙන්න ඕනේ to the climate factors. That means කාලගුණික විපර්යාස when building houses. For an example, Inuit houses in the Arctic and houses built in different deserts. So can we make the same houses in Antarctic or Arctic and as well as in deserts? ඒ කියන්නේ ගොඩක් Antarctic කියලා කියන Arctic කියලා කියන ගොඩක් සීතල ප්‍රදේශ. හිම තියෙන ප්‍රදේශ. ඒ හදන Inuit houses කියලා කියනවා. අපි මේ igloo houses කියලා කියන්නේ. Eskimos, they built Inuit houses. So can they make the same houses in deserts? No. ඒ කියන්නේ කාන්තාරවල deserts මේ දෙකේම එකම විදිහේ houses හදන්න පුළුවන්ද? No. According to the climate, we have to change the house and the materials and the way that we make the houses. Today, there are many kinds of houses in the world and they are called by different names such as cottage, villa, mansion, bungalow, thatched house, flat, etc. Depending on the location, size, material used, facilities available. So here cottage කියන්නේ ගොඩක් පුංචි cottages වගේ ගෙවල් තියෙනවා. villas මන්දිර වගේ ඒවා. mansion කියලා කියන මන්දිර. villas කියලා කියන්නේත් ඒ වගේ ලොකු ගෙවල්. bungalows අහලා තියෙනවානේ bungalow circuit bungalows හැම ඔයගොල්ලෝ දැකලා ඇති. thatched house ඒ කියලා කියන්නේ සෙවිලි කරලා තියෙන මැටි වලින් වගේ හදපු ගෙවල්. flats. So there are lots of types of houses nowadays depending on the location. පිහිටලා තියෙන ප්‍රදේශය, size එක, ඒ හදන අමුද්‍රව්‍ය, use facilities available. ඒ වගේ තියෙන facilities. Now if we take a mansion, it's just like a castle. නිකන් මන්දිරයක් වගේ mansion එකක් කියන්නේ. So the facilities, if we compare it with a thatched house, පොඩි මැටි වලින් හදපු ගෙදරකට වඩා ගොඩක් පහසුකම් තියෙනවා. So this lesson, these given paragraphs are all about shelters. What kind of materials were used by the early man to build different forms of shelter? So early man, what did they use? Stones, bones, and here they have even stones, bones, and parts of trees. According to the text, is it important to consider the climate factors when building houses? අපි කාලගුණය ගැන සැලකිලිමත් වෙන්න ඕනේද? Yes. Name some of the types of houses found in the world, right? What are the types of houses? Here they have given, you have to write. Design a flow chart to show the evaluation of different types of houses as given in the text. Evaluation කියලා කියන්නේ මේ වගේ මේ දැන් කාලයත් එක්ක කොහොමද මේ ගෙවල් එහෙම නැත්නම් shelters වෙනස් වුනේ කියන එක. ඒක develop වුනේ කොහොමද කියන එකට තමයි evaluation කියලා කියන්නේ. Evolution කියලා කියන්නේ. shelter made of bones, stones and parts of trees. මුලින්ම හිටියේ මේ bones වලින් stones වලින් හදපු ගෙවල් වල. And then they moved into what kind of house? Clay box. They used clay blocks. මැටි වලින් හදපු ගෙවල් වලට. ඊට පස්සේ what did they use? Artificial types of materials to make houses. Right? So you have to fill the flow chart. Do you think that it is important to consider the climatic factors when building houses? Yes or no? Climatic factors කියලා කියන්නේ කාලගුණය කියන එක අපි සැලකිලි මිලට ගන්න ඕනේද ගෙවල් හදන්න? Yes. Take the houses of the Inuit as an example and explain the reasons for your answer. So you have to take the example. What is it? Inuits. Inuits කියලා කියන්නේ igloo නිවාස. Do you think it is important to consider climate factors? කියන්නේ කාලගුණික විපර්යාස වලට අනුව තමයි අපි ගෙවල් හදන්න ඕනේ. So ඒකට උදාහරණයක් වදිහට අපි ගන්න ඕනේ මේ Inuit houses. Right? Reasons for Inuit of the Inuit, an example and explain the reasons. So why do you think? So we can say they live in igloos. Then Inuit ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ igloos වල ඉන්න අය because they in the Arctic or Antarctic they have very less temperature and hard snow is there. Snowing is there throughout the year. ගොඩක් snow කරනවා. So they have to make their houses according to the weather condition. They cannot use the same materials that the warm countries use. And when it is the warm season, they have separate kind of houses to live. අපි ඒවට කියනවා tents කියලා. ඒකට ටිකක් warm කාලවලට igloos වල නෙමෙයි ඉන්නේ tents වල. So that is what you have to written here. Read the next text again and write the highlighted words in your book. Find the meanings of the highlighted words. Here they have given you some highlighted words. මම කිව්වේ gradually කියලා කියන්නේ slowly, then කියලා කියන්නේ after that. ඊට පස්සේ as a result. ඒකේ ප්‍රතිඵලයක් වශයෙන්, however, whatever way කියන එක. So you have to find out the meanings. It's better for you all to find out the Sinhala meanings as well and then write them. Filling the blanks using the most suitable word. Here they have given you these words. එතකොට මම මේ අනිවාර්යෙන් මේ වචන දැනගන්න ඕනේ. gradually කියන්නේ මොකද්ද? ඉතාමත් හිමි. then කියලා කියන්නේ පස්සේ. as a result කියලා කියන්නේ ඒකේ ප්‍රතිඵලයක් වශයෙන්. however කියලා කියන්නේ කොහොම වුණත්. later කියන්නේ ඊට පස්සේ කියන. fill in the blanks. People tend to consume කියලා කියන්නේ eat a lot of junk food. They face lot of health problems. එතකොට මේ junk food කෑම මොකද වෙන්නේ? ඒගොල්ලන්ට health problems එනවා. However, as a result, people tend to consume junk food as a result. ඒක හේතුවක් කරගෙන ඒ කට්ටියට අසනීප වෙනවා කියන එක. A baby learns to get up and walk gradually. හිමීට තමයි මෙයාලා ඉගෙන ගන්නේ walk කරන්න. It was raining heavily. However, they managed to reach the place on time. මේ දෙකම දාලා බලන්න මොකද්ද ගැලපෙන්නේ කියලා. However, ඒ කියන්නේ එහෙම වුණත් කියන එක. then කියලා කියන්නේ ඊට පස්සේ. එතකොට මේ දෙකෙන් ගැලපෙන එක හොයාගන්න. Ancient man lived in caves. As a result, they learned to build houses in their own. එහෙමද? caves වල ඉඳලා ඒකේ ප්‍රතිඵලයක් වශයෙන් මේ කට්ටිය තනියම ගෙවල් හදා ගන්න පටන් ගත්තේ නැහැ. Ancient man lived in caves. Later, පස්සේ ඒගොල්ලෝ ඉගෙන ගත්තා houses හදන්න. The answer is later here. He got low marks at the test. Then he realized he should work hard. ලකුණු අඩු වුණාට පස්සේ තමයි ආ දැනගත්තේ වැඩ කරන්න ඕනේ කියලා. So try to write your own answers for all these questions and complete the activity.